Taking a look at tech news. In this case, we are in September 2023. First off, Slashdot. This is a good general website to see what's going on. Workers are resisting calls to return to offices. I'm not shocked. I think in a lot of situations isn't necessary, but for whatever reason, people at the higher levels of these companies feel like they need everyone physically in the same place. I don't understand it, but it's a thing. So maybe it's just how humans love to apply will and control over others. I don't know, honestly. Maybe there is some data behind it. Who knows? Let's take a look here. So Washington Post made an article about 52% of remote capable jobs, which they've already defined them as remote capable. 29% are exclusively remote. So it's 30% isn't a whole lot. Yet they're still trying to force them to come back. Mr. Mark Z, the guy that loves barbecue, he says that the flexible work has had a, whatever that word is, effect on productivity. Yeah, words. So, I mean, if he has actual data behind it, the thing is statistics can put forth what you believe if you adjust them to how you want. So I wouldn't necessarily say that his data is correct, but maybe it is. Who knows? So it's after more than 2 years of trying to coax workers back into the office, bosses are losing patience. Even tech companies that were once champions of remote work are changing their tune. Employers have new leverage as the labor market has cooled, giving workers less room to be choosy. In my opinion, it would be nice to have a society based on people, and the health of a person should be the most valuable thing. But in this society, it's more of productivity, expansion, growth, whatever else you want to define it as. But yeah, it's just me. Gannett halts AI-written sports recaps after reader mocked the stories. Oh, this is funny. The thing is, these current AI systems, whatever the heck GPT is, I can't remember the acronym, but it's not going to produce valid information a lot of the time. It's just how it works. So it seems like a bad choice when there's any type of factual information inside. So as a CNN reporter from the Gannett chain group or whatever they are, says it's paused the use of AI tools to write high school sports dispatches after the technology made several major flubs in articles. Shocking. Have they never used these before? Did they ever, oh man. The reports were mocked on social media for being repetitive, lacking key details, using odd language, generally sounding like they had been written by a computer with no knowledge of sports. Yes. CNN identified several other outlets probably using this stuff. So it's LEDE AI, whatever that is. You can take a look at this. Give your newsroom superpowers. Automatically reporting trust. Yeah. Sorry, it doesn't quite make it work, does it? Scrolling stuff. See if their blog mentions it. Nope. Scoring big with AI. Make useless junk content. Anyways, yeah, my opinion is that at least the current type of quote-unquote AI is not going to produce factual, useful information a lot of the time. So it's just bad use case. Silicon Valley billionaires reveal first renderings of planned city in California. Well, that's going to go well, I'm sure. Haven't they tried this before? Starting a conversation about East Solano County. Solar farms, open space. So anyways, it's some rich people buying land to play Sim City in real life. That's basically what it sounds like. Are SCRUMs a cancer? It's a type of programming technique. As we take a look. So this person said, been writing software for 25 years, and nothing renders a software team useless like SCRUM does. We spent more time talking than doing. We spent more time estimating story points than writing software. Imagine having a manager, a Scrum master, product owner, and a tech lead. You have to answer to all of them and none simultaneously. I believe in Agile, but this is not Agile. Scrum can't fail because Scrum is whatever you want Scrum to be. You go through the motions, humor it, and then work around it and ignore it. It's a common joke among our developers. Nauseum is just a cargo cultists. Wow. Non-functional mock-ups of technology. Yeah, so far it seems pretty consistent. No team of highly competent developers in a true tech firm would use SCRUM. Are there any SCRUM people here? I wonder. I haven't done it. I haven't used it. But I can see how adding extra layers to the process that don't necessarily help the situation can be a problem. It's not good. Yeah. Okay, so seems pretty consistent with the comments here. Unless all the SCRUM people are working instead of posting comments. Are we seeing the end of Googleverse? Oh, The Verge. For 2 decades, Google search was invincible. Now, for the first time, cultural relevance is a question if it's peak Google or not. Well, I don't know. They're not really giving any specific information here, but ChatGPT and OpenAI, again, I've mentioned this before. It's cool. It does some things for sure, but also it has a lot of issues. And I've used the Bing ChatGPT thing, and it was not helpful in like nearly every situation I tried to apply to it. So maybe there's some potential there and stuff, but I currently went back to Google and I haven't used Bing in quite a while, so take that for what it is. Pentagon's new UFO website lets you explore declassified sighting information. It's a military website. All Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, AARO. Yeah, so that's the thing. Good old videocards.com. Sapphire, so far, the only company to launch AMD reference Radeon RX 7800 XT. That's interesting. The 7800 is the better option compared to the 7700, I think it was. This has 16 gigabytes of RAM. It has the 256-bit bus for transferring data. So if you were to consider one or the other, the MSRP is a $50 difference. I would definitely go with the 78 instead of the 77. Looks like Intel has another Arc and Iris graphics driver. It's always good to see. Let's look to see what the differences are. I mentioned Starfield graphics driver package has temporarily increased to significantly reduce the Starfield game loading duration. That's interesting how the driver for the graphics card would make a difference there. Maybe they're somehow processing assets through the GPU. I don't know what the purpose of that would be. There's more issues with Starfield visual artifacts and stuff, it looks like. That's too bad. So it seems more like a fix than anything. All Starfield related. Uncharted, Halo. Yeah, there was a lot of issues with Halo as well. It's kind of weird because I thought it was supposed to be really good with the more recent DirectX API. Oh, these are known issues, so these are still a problem. So not the best situation for Intel with that. Starfield or otherwise. 14,000 series, or whatever the heck you call them. It is 14,000. So the 900K version of that, this looks like more rumor information. So a slight improvement over the previous version, looks like. I mean, if it's the same manufacturing process, there's only so much you can do unless they really change up how it works internally. I don't know if you're ever going to get a whole lot out of the same manufacturing process. When you have the option to just get the newer one, if you get 10% out of it for the same price, assuming make these cheaper, who knows, you might as well get the newer one. So I think they could potentially announce in later September efficiency cores, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so it's 14 total, but 8 of them are efficient cores. And then threads, there's 20 threads for some reason. So that's a logical thread. It's not a physical core. Oh man. ASUS RTX 4090 Evangelion graphics card debuts in China. Well-known anime. Has a lot of religious themes and stuff. People are super into it for a long time. It came out in the 90s. I generally like it. And I'm a Asuka fan more so than other characters. So I would take it, definitely. O2 is her, what are they even, Ava's, whatever you want to call them, biological mecha. Collection called ROG of Evangelion 2 features a design based on Ava Unit 2 and Asuka. 2 of the main characters of the show. Collection includes a motherboard graphics card, case, cooler, keyboard, mouse. Wow, you can have a full Asuka build. I'd take it. Sign me up. So it did say China, but we'll see if it comes to the United States at some point. Whoa, that's a lot of money. That's intense looking. Yeah, that's cool. I'd take the board and the GPU, the mouse. Well, I like silent click mice, so probably not that. The cooler's okay. The case is just like cool looking, but it's probably not super practical. I assume this is a headphone holder thing. Emergency. They should have put the emergency things by the 12-VH power connector. That would have made more sense to put emergency over there. Oh man, it's got a RGB tail end. Republic of Gamers. Thing they'd call with cars that have anime coverings, anime wraps. I was going to say waps. Braps, not wap. It's called Itasha, which is the car wrapped. I don't remember what it means, but it's like nerd, like otaku. I guess I could look that up real quick. Here's a Wikipedia. So it says, oh, okay, itai, okay, that makes sense now. So ita or itai means I'm hurt, pain, and so it means pain or cringeworthy. Itasha. Yeah, that totally makes sense. So cringeworthy cars with their anime or game or whatever coverings. This looks like the ship girls. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, she's got her battleship. I think they're cool. I like looking at them. I don't know if I would personally want one, but if I were paid, I would sport one. If someone wanted to pay me to wrap my car, it usually goes the opposite direction. Oh, there's the trucks, so they have their own name. Deco Tora. Deco Chadi. Must have come much earlier than the Itasha. Yeah, so 1970s. Those are cool too. MSI Z790 Max motherboards come with 10% price hike. Ooh, $1,300 for a flipping motherboard. Man, so designed for 14th gen Intel Core CPUs that will be out at some point. $1,300 for a flipping motherboard. $1,200 previously. Man, MSI is my preferred brand usually. I've had the most consistency with their components over the years. Not to say that they're perfect in it or anything. They did have some issues where they got hacked and their software was like serving phishing or whatever questionable stuff. I'm talking like since like early 2000s. So I've definitely tried various manufacturers. Yeah. So expensive motherboards. That's what I'm taking away from this. Noctua NHU12A. Is that the short one? Officially the first cooler compatible with Intel's next generation LGA 1851. So is the 14th generation going to use a different socket already? Wow. So it looks almost like the same flipping thing. They just added more pins maybe. I would assume this is the number of pins, so it's up 100 and whatever. You'd think they would have adjusted the shape of it because from what I've seen, there's some potential issue or there was some issue with the pressure being applied didn't cover well with that rectangular format, but I guess they didn't care enough to change the shape. Sapphire would like to invite gamers to join Party Animals. I like orange, so this is actually something that I would take here. RX, I mean it's yellow-ish, but it's also orange. I like yellow's good too. RX 7600, this would be faster than my 1060, but also the 7600, it doesn't use the entire lanes of the PCIe connection. So on my motherboard, it'd probably be especially slow because I don't have a resizable bar and it doesn't have the most recent PCIe spec. So it would be fewer lanes at a slower spec. And it's just like a double combination of bad. So it says Sapphire launched in China. Special edition RX 7600 with a dog on it. Brawler game called Party Animals. Cute and furry creatures fighting. What? It's a cool looking card at the very least. Oh wow, that's okay. I'd still use it. Yeah. We'll probably never see it in the States. Oh boy. GeForce RTX 4060 Ti with 16 gigabytes of memory gets a $50 to $70 discount already. I think it should be even cheaper. So NVIDIA responds to AMD by lowering prices from $499 to $430 to get the 16 gigabyte version. 100 XT 77 are designed to compete with the 4070 and 4060 Ti. So that was MSRP of $500, which is a joke. They're going to lower prices a little bit. I think they're still off by $100. However, this offering appears to be an outlier. So some people are still pretty expensive. AMD boss confirms that the company wanted to use the new power connector for their GPUs, but they decided not to. So it's got the two 8-pin. Originally planned to use that connector for the 78 and 77 series. However, the company changed its mind and decided to drop it for the double 8-pin. The AMD wanted to make sure that the gaming community was comfortable and confident with the new connector before implementing it in its products. That's smart. AMD would reconsider the 12VH power connector in the future. He also commented on the challenges some companies faced with the new connector, saying that they should have taken responsibility and solved the issues with the users, but I guess they didn't, maybe. Just like AMD did with the vapor chamber problem on its 79 series. you shouldn't blame the end users for the issues that they've gotten from that connector. I agree. Just like they had an issue with the vapor chamber, apparently. I didn't even hear about that. Till the power issue is cleaned up and there's good confidence with the connector sensing pins, and they adjusted the shape of them or something so that they won't connect if it's not properly seated. I think that's good, but it also still feels like a pointlessly small connector with very inflexible lines usually from it. Strange design choices with that connector. Good old Anandtech, they usually have some good stuff. 78 XT and 77. I haven't really talked about this on my channel, I don't think. I haven't posted a video since then. But basically, from what I've seen, the 7800, assuming the pricing is consistent with what they MSRP'd at, you definitely want to go with this compared to the 77 because it has the larger memory bus and 16 gigabytes of RAM. I feel like should be the target, $500. Okay, so AMD moved to the chiplet design for their GPUs as well as their CPUs previously. So they've got a 5 nanometer GCD chip, and then the MCD is 6 nanometers, so that probably lowers their cost a little bit. This probably is the memory related things, I would assume. Game clock is the same, but the boost is slightly lower on the more expensive one. Probably because it's got more stuff in it, and the yields are probably a little bit lower for a larger chip. It does have more cache inside. Getting a lot for $50. Let's take a look at their pipeline stories here. Samsung unveils memory die, 1 terabyte modules incoming, 32 gigabit. So you divide that by 8 to get bytes. So this new chip, okay, so it's 12 nanometer, which is surprisingly large. I thought they would have used an even smaller process, but those are probably really expensive. 12 is pretty recent. It's like Intel's stuff. I think they're still at 12. They're CPUs, so I mean it's good. So I'm always open to seeing more RAM. It's always a good thing. You know, more RAM, fewer sticks. So you'd probably just have 2 maybe with 32 each, 64 each for most people. MSI goes compact with the new GeForce RTX 40 series gaming slim cards. Oh, so they don't take as many slots up. That's kind of nice. Still has 3 fans. So it's a 4070 Ti. Looks like it takes up 2, maybe 2 slots. I mean, it shows 2, but more than 2 actually. Yeah, so is that really much different? Yeah, it's 2.5 slots. Is it really that slim? Well, slimmer. 2.5 slots is slim, American sizing. They're like slim jeans except 5XL size. Wow, that's pretty much how it looks. They probably just output way too much heat to have slimmer than that. New texture pack for Starfield already. I've seen some streams of Starfield and it might be kind of fun. I already have a modder. I did play Oblivion and I enjoyed that, but that was so long ago. I don't remember a whole lot. Funny enough, the NPCs act and look like the Oblivion ones from what I remember. So they really haven't improved their NPC AI that much. So you want to modify the text of a PDF by hand. It's a GitHub. If you're like me, you resent every dollar spent on commercial PDF tools. You might want to know how to change the text content of a PDF without having to pay Adobe or another PDF tool. I didn't see any obvious open source tools that let you dig into the internals, but I did discover a few useful facts about how PDFs are structured. Viewing compressed text data. I assume this is the person's tool or a tool they found. Find the text data. Yeah, this is interesting and useful if you're ever in need of trying to deal with PDFs. I've been in that situation at times. Oh, I remember this book, Black Art of 3D Game Programming. Pretty sure I remember seeing this book in bookstores. That'd be an interesting read. Well, skim. I wouldn't spend the time to actually read it. But of course, all the information would be very specific to operating systems of that era. If it has its own renderer, then yeah, that's definitely a cool project. LAN Party House 2011. What even could this be? I used to own a house optimized for LAN parties with fold-out gaming stations built into the walls. I sold it in 2020 and moved to Austin, Texas. Is this a streamer or something? There's a lot of streamers in Austin. I plan to build another one. So they've got TVs in the wall. Wow. This person must be well off. That's cool though. Stations. I'm guessing their challenge was finding people that would hang out. Yeah, they've got the screens, computers are somewhere probably in the back. That's cool. Big TV. Is that StarCraft? Maybe. The backstory, technical design, and FAQ. Man, this guy's going hard. She's got server racks. Wow. I mean, if I had the money, I would consider doing something like that just for the fun of it. He's got a 2U rack mount server, Xenon, 4 gigabytes of RAM. Interesting. And then other machines in the rack were i5, GeForce 560. Yeah, very cool. It's got cabinets. So, it slides it down. Okay, that's what it was. That's super cool. Yeah. Oh, man. What games did you play? StarCraft, Left 4 Dead. Yeah, that's a good multiplayer. UT 2004, also a good one. GT, I guess, was a multiplayer. Duke Nukem 3D. Quake. Soldat. I don't remember what this thing is. Kind of curious. It's a side-scrolling free multiplayer action game. Okay, this was posted in 2011. Cool. All right, I think that's it for tech news. Hope you enjoyed the video. See ya.